Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we'll be checking out the official trailer for Kaiju number 8. I am so excited for this. We got a little bit of a teaser a long time ago, one of the conventions. I believe it was maybe AnimeCon. But as you guys know, New York Comic Con is going down full effect. And CrunchyRoll had many surprises. They have an exhibit at New York Comic Con where it's just kind of like a disaster area and they were telling people come back tomorrow or whatever. So I knew that they were going to drop something. I was imagining it would be this, so I'm very excited. Let me read you the synopsis real quick. In a world plagued by threatening creatures known as Kaiju, Kafka Hibino aspired to enlist in Japan's defense force to defeat them. Let's wipe out the Kaiju together. Kafka pledged to his childhood friend Mina Ashiro. Over time, life circumstances forced them to go their separate ways and caused him to abandon his lifelong ambition. He found himself employed by Monster Sweeper Inc., a professional cleaning company that specializes in cleaning up the aftermath of kaiju battles. Meanwhile, Mina Ashiro is now the captain of the Defense Force's 3rd Division. As it stands, he is currently unworthy of fighting kaiju along her. At work, Kafka crosses paths with a highly motivated Reno Ichikawa. Reno's undying determination to join the Defense Force leaves no room for failure. His perseverance reawakens Kafka's ambition to standing next to Mina as they protect humanity from kaiju together, a dream frozen by time, thawed by a burning promise. This is coming to Crunchyroll, I believe sometime in April of 2024, so I am very, very excited. But let's go take a look at the trailer. We'll come back, talk more about this upcoming anime. All right, here's the trailer for Kaiju number 8. Woo! Here comes some Kaiju. It is interesting to see the Kaiju in full color. In the manga, sometimes we get a few pages, but this is like completely unreal. I like the color. I like the stylization. I'm not too familiar with the studio. Oh my shit! And our production IG. Great. I love production IG. They do some fantastic work. This is gonna be as bloody as it needs to be. I wonder how much they'll give away. Because there's a big kind of plot twist in the first chapter that really pumps the anime. I mean the manga.
目標撃破
もう一回防衛隊員目指す
Interesting. Wow. That looks great. I really love it. Let's kind of go through some of the moments once the kaiju shows up. I think we got some really cool stuff that I want to talk about. So once again, looking at the kaiju, I think really cool stuff. I love the premise of this, like that the whole defense force being the fighting force. Yeah, we get a lot of good looks at least this first kaiju and some of the aftermath here, as you can see. The first attack that we're seeing, kind of how we're introduced to Kafka and everything that's going on in this world. I gotta say, the first chapter of the manga very efficiently puts all this stuff together, and I love all the little details. I love seeing the street lights having a 4th light for the kaiju attack. Here we see, as I mentioned before, we see Kafka trying to feeling like he's let himself down and let his dream go. So that's really cool. And just, man, so much cool stuff. Like when these guys get attacked by these really weirdly designed, they're so colorful. It is so weird to see because, of course, in the manga, for the most part, they're black and white and gray tones and stuff. But it is so weird to see all the color palette choices because we don't, like I said, we don't see a lot of kaiju being colored. So a lot of really violent imagery. We get to see a little bit of the shot of the dream that he once had. We get to meet Reno, so that's really cool. and we get to see Mina a little bit. Let me see if I can find a good shot of both of them. Here we see them as kids, as they, one thing I will say also in the manga, like Kafka really aged. Like he doesn't look as, it doesn't look like there would be contemporary, like contemporaries, which is really really funny. Uh, and then of course, all right. So I'm gonna get into the little kind of like, I guess, a spoiler area, if you will. So if you don't want to know anything more about Kaiju, because they show it in the trailer, but I'm gonna break down what's happening in this moment. So if you haven't read the manga, if you don't want to know anything about this, thank you for watching. Come back later. So I'm gonna get into a little bit of spoilers for probably the first episode, and also a brief spoiler for the manga that really sets things up. Right, this is kind of the big twist of the first chapter. So if you don't want to know, stay away. So we get to this scene where we see Kafka laying down, and of course this thing shows up. This little monster parasite thing. This shows up. It goes inside Kafka, as we've seen in the shot, right? And then that's what gives Kafka the ability to turn into this kaiju. So that's kind of the big twist, the big reveal. I'm surprised they give it a little bit of context, but I really think they didn't want to give too much away in the trailer. Of course, if you have read the manga, then you kind of know what's going on in that moment. So very interested in this. Really excited for this to kind of go on. So if you have read this manga, if you're excited for this anime, let me know what you thought about this trailer down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here on the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.